So Gorth Balian just made a video about sub rentals and how he wants to try to get that amount that he's spending down. So I'm just straight up stealing his video idea. Sub rentals. Go with how much did I spend on sub rentals this year? Not counting linens. Linens I consider a separate thing, separate beast, but I'll get into that. So I spent $4,340 on sub rentals. It was mostly tents because we were overbooked on tents. It was like a big 40 by 80, 40 by 100. And my view is I didn't want to say no to it because I had everything else. I had the dance floor, the tables, the chairs, the lights, the sidewalls even. I had everything else to go into the tent. I just didn't have the tent. So I said yes. And I got the big tents from the other companies and they went and put them up. We were able to make money off of everything else, including the sidewalls. I did not rent the sidewalls from those companies. I put those up myself. So I'm estimating that I made $20,000 in profit off of having a sub rent $4,340, which to me is very good. Now, Gorth Balian's dilemma is he had to sub rent a lot of tables and chairs and other smaller things in order to say yes to jobs. In those instances, yeah, you're eventually going to want to buy those so you don't have to sub rent the little things. But when you're first starting out, there's no reason to lose a job because you don't have 5 tables for this one or 100 chairs for that one. I mean, one of the jobs, I had to rent 600 chairs because it was a $6,000 job with these chairs and these chairs for a graduation ceremony. And I was already charging almost double a chair anyways. So I sub-rented the 600 chairs that I needed. And I made a normal rental fee on them because I was doubling the price anyways for the ceremony because they wanted them all set up and zip tied together. So I made a lot of money on that, but it does suck. You know, I did pay $600 to the other rental company, but I made $1,200 off those chairs. So I made $600 off those chairs. So I'm a fan of sub rentals. Obviously, if you're sub renting something all the time, like once you go past 10 times of having to sub rent the same thing, it's probably time to buy it. But sub rentals are a good way to get you to be able to get those jobs that you'd probably lose if you didn't have those particular items. Other things like white fencing or a $20,000 generator that you don't want to buy are good candidates for sub rental because you don't want to own them. They're not going to go out that much. They're a big investment cost. You don't know how to maintain a generator or you just don't want to deal with it. So like a lot of those things, sub rentals are good. Linens, I consider a different thing. Linens, I kind of have to offer, even though I hate them. I kind of have to do them in order to get weddings. So we sub-rent them from a company called Ultimate Textile. This year was not good. Usually I'm about 30% profit on linens. So this year I spent $41,733. Actually, the math was different. It was like about $40,000 in linens. I made $51,000 in linens. So you do the math on that. I did a 20% profit on those, which isn't bad for me just getting them in, putting them in a bag and then sending them back and not having to clean them and wash them and store them. The linens suck to have to clean and iron and make beautiful. Plus, this lady wants purple, this lady wants pink. You know, it's a big investment to own all those. It's just a giant hassle. It's like a whole nother aspect of the business with its own logistics and everything like that. Linens are crazy. I don't want to deal with it. I don't even want to sub-rent them, but so that's why I consider them a separate beast because I need them in order to do these weddings, and I do spend a lot. So I did just raise my prices on linens like a lot to either discourage people from renting them and just go buy them themselves or find somewhere else, or if they really do want them, which most people are actually wanting them, and they still go with us, but I'm making a lot more money. So I'm going to guess this year, 2020, if everything was normal and not with this whole thing going on, that my profit margin is going to be anywhere from 30 to 40% on linens now. It might not be this year because of everything, so maybe next year. But so I'm just raising my prices to make more money on them. I have to do linens. I can't get away from them. But don't be scared of sub rentals. You know, it's a necessary evil. You want to say yes to the job. You don't have a particular thing. Like, you might not have 1,000 feet of fencing and might never need it, so you just contact a fencing company. Some of the largest companies in the business just do sub rentals almost for every single big job that they're doing. They can't do everything in-house. I know a company, my friend's company, who subrents out all the carpet when he needs to do a flooring job. I mean, he'll do the flooring with his staging and other kinds of floors, but he'll just get a carpet company to come in and do it. And he pays them. And he makes money on top of it, but he pays them to do what they're doing so that his guys are free for other things. A lot of big companies will subrent. You know, if you need to do a double-decker tent is like $500,000 to buy, like, and it's not going to go out that much for you. So subrent from a company, maybe a regional, like a Northeastern, Midwest company that is willing to travel to put up their double-decker tent. You don't need it for your area all the time, but this particular job needs it, so you're going to subrent it. So it's a lot of things like that, like things that you're not going to always need every single day, but you want to be able to do this particular job, so you'll subrent it. Or the thing costs a lot of money, like a generator, and you're not using it every weekend, you'll subrent it. Or even in the small cases where you can get this wedding that's $5,000, but you're missing 10 tables, subrent it. It's not going to be that much of a cost for you. Hopefully the other rental company gives you a 10% discount. Maybe you can even tell the customer like, hey, I don't have them, I have to subrent them. I have to go with their price, and then just charge a little more for those extra tables, just so you're not losing money. Subrentals are very handy, and in this business, you're going to be subrenting from people a lot, and those same people are going to come to you and subrent. So it doesn't really balance out. It's like, it's wrong to say that it balances out, but it kind of does. You rent 10 tables from them this week, they rent 10 tables from you a few weeks later, kind of all balances out. Like one company I deal with that I subrent from, they subrent from me. We just keep a running tally throughout the year. And at the end of the year, either I owe them a little bit of money or they owe me a little bit of money. Either way, it works out. This particular year, they owed me like $400. In previous years, I owed them a little bit of money. So it's kind of like a trade situation. And each time we're still giving each other the 10% discount. So it works out. They help me, I help them. So when you look at your books and you see how much you spent in subrentals, also keep in mind how much those subrentals have allowed you to generate from your stuff that you're bringing out with that. Obviously, if you're doing a whole job where it's a 20 by 20, 6 tables and 50 chairs, and you have to subrent the whole thing, you know, that's not an ideal situation. You're probably only going to get into that if you messed up somewhere, and you're not going to be making a lot of money, maybe $50 to $100 on that, if any. So that's not an ideal situation. Subrentals are to supplement what you have so you don't lose the job, or you don't have to invest a lot of money into things that won't go out that often. That's my take on subrentals. Thanks for watching.